Let's get started. I'd like to ask a few questions. Firstly, maybe Waller, could you briefly introduce yourself, share a little bit about your background and what you were doing before starting Sett?
Happy to. Yeah. My name is Waller Perez. I was born in the Dominican Republic, moved to the States when I was a toddler, and then grew up in the Chicago area. I played a ton of basketball growing up with my two brothers, and eventually ended up playing at the University of Chicago, where I did my undergrad and majored in economics. Shortly after graduation, I ended up working for a publicly traded education company in their corporate development and M&A team. Shortly after, I moved to New York City, where I joined Lazard in their FIG M&A practice. After that, I came back to Chicago, where I joined Madison Dearborn Partners, a Chicago-based private equity firm where I spent most of my time working with management teams and making investments in the, I would say, government tech space.
Awesome. And then you founded Sett, which is a really exciting company. What's your vision and what are the primary objectives of your startup?
So Sett is a productivity software focused on saving M&A professionals and finance professionals time in their day-to-day. So the idea behind Sett is that we're building a suite of productivity solutions, allowing those professionals to focus on more important tasks throughout an M&A process and less so on the repetitive tasks. And so the real vision behind it was, saving their time, allowing them to have a better, work-life balance, and more importantly, allow them to focus on the more important parts of an M&A deal.
Nice. So when you were kind of kicking off this vision, why did you decide to outsource software development?
So I decided to outsource my software development because of the value proposition I saw offshore versus onshore. It was very high from my perspective. I also noticed that a lot of the more talented software development professionals were already based offshore versus onshore. And so after kind of reaffirming that view with some of my friends, that kind of prompted my decision to outsource my software development.
Nice. And we were really grateful for your trust and opportunity to work with us. And before you kind of kicked off your partnership with us, I'm sure you're evaluating several other firms. I'd love to ask you what made Oaks Lab stand out above the rest.
So I think right off the bat, Oaks Lab did a really good job showcasing their software development ability while also being incredibly approachable. I knew that they could write high quality code based on kind of the reviews and based on speaking with other clients. But what was most important to me was not only how approachable you were, but your ability to be a thought partner, right? In the reviews, I saw time and time again that you really not just wrote incredible code, but you helped your clients make key decisions throughout the process.
Nice. And we really enjoyed working with you throughout the partnership and the autonomy you gave our team while shepherding them to help lay the foundation to achieve your vision. How would you describe the overall experience working with the team?
Fantastic experience. Simply put, everything was fluid, conversational throughout, open and honest communication in terms of what potential challenges we foresee, even like key pivots. So early on, I think I tried to make it clear that I welcome thoughts and feedback, and the team was clearly able to deliver on that in terms of the openness, in terms of the thought process and thinking. And I'm just truly grateful for the ability to have them be open with me.
Nice. We enjoyed your time also with us here, where you flew out to Prague to meet with the team and ideate at a key part of the project. And so that was not only inspirational for our team, but also we had a really fun time. I think it had a great impact on the partnership. Are there any specific results or outputs or milestones that you viewed as kind of important that we achieved together through this 4-month mission?
One of the cool things about working with you all is that we were already able to have beta users lined up using our product and giving us feedback from the get-go. As a result, it allows you to begin that, as you know, that learning process needed in order to continue to tweak the software, which then allows you to get closer to product market fit / commercial readiness. I think that was incredibly instrumental for us, because I think as a startup, one of the biggest advantages that you have versus potential larger competitors is speed, is your ability to be nimble. And so I think having those beta users kind of ready from the get-go has allowed us to begin that refinement process and move as quickly as able.
Nice. Now, moving towards kind of the end of this 4-month collaboration, is there any memorable moment, experience from our collaboration that you'd like to pinpoint or highlight or share?
Yes. So there was a moment in the beginning of the process where we made a huge pivot, where I'd been talking through with the team on potential ways to kind of get started on our MVP. And the product manager on the project had a view on where we should focus our efforts on. And I had a different view at the time, actually, right? But after having conversations with some of our beta users, after gathering some data, it led to a pivot, right? I said, you know what? I think the data tells us that we should take this direction. And what I appreciated was that not only did the product manager and the rest of the team feel like they could voice their thoughts, but more importantly, their thoughts were grounded in data from our beta users. So that was a really memorable moment for me, because I think it showed the flexibility of our team and it showed our collective thought process. It was memorable. I was pretty happy with the result, and it was a quite memorable pivot.
Nice. Yeah, hopefully that pivot will be a moment, that we look back on. That was one of the first, moments of turning the company in a really, really successful, high growth direction. I'm sure there'll be plenty along the way through your experience in this company, but it could be the first one. 2 last questions. How would you categorize Oaks Lab in just 3 words?
It's tough. I have so many great things to say about Oaks Lab, but if you were to just give me 3 words, I would say technical thought partner. I think you all, without a doubt, write high quality code, but again, what surprised me in a pleasant way is that your ability to help founders think through every decision that they're making, and you're not writing high quality code for the sake of it. You're writing high quality code for a business outcome, and so that was what truly stood out to me.
Thank you. It really means a lot coming from you, and just makes me really proud of what we're doing at Oaks Lab, because that's exactly why I founded the company, not to blindly build a laundry list of features,
Right.
but really make sure that we build the features that give the founders that we work with the highest chance of achieving product market fit and driving, business growth. So I'm very happy to hear that's the experience you've had with us, and that's why we are here. Just to wrap up, what's kind of next for Sett, and do you see the opportunity for us to kind of work together potentially in the future?
In terms of next steps, I think we've received some early feedback from kind of early, even not only just beta users, but post beta user phase. We've gotten some early feedback from some of our potential customers. There are some iterations in terms of how we round out the current beta offering. So I think our focus is to elaborate on that and make that more well-rounded. I think the long-term vision is to create productivity tools, and we've got some have never been created before. And so the long-term vision is to create some productivity tools for other parts of that M&A ecosystem. So think private equity firms, management consultants, in-house M&A folks at large corporates. And so that's also really exciting long-term. To answer your second question, absolutely. I highly recommend, Oaks Lab. And I personally intend on reaching out to you, Jake, and team to see when it makes sense to engage you all in our next engagement.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much, Waller, for all the kind words. We really appreciate it here. And we wish you nothing but huge success, which you're destined to achieve. And thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, and look forward to working with you all in the future.